Ever diagnosed with any type of like mental illness or any type of diagnosis, any type of learning disability, anything like that?
I have a crazy problem.
I will pray for you, but if you get on my nerve, I will cuss you smooth out. My mouth ain't under control yet, and I can throw these hands. And let me tell you something, if I get my hands on you, I promise you, you gonna know you've been in a fight. But I'm trying not to go there because I'm in transition.
It is Party in the Chat tonight. Yes, it is Party in the Chat tonight. We are back. We are live in full effect. I know it's a little bit late. I had a couple of things to do, but we are back and welcome to Party in the Chat. If this is your first time here, listen, this is what we do on Mondays. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight, honey, because we are talking all things Married to Medicine tonight. I've been sitting on Married to Medicine for a couple of weeks, and they done pissed me the hell off. And listen, in Party and Chat, we gets down for the get down on it. Come on in. And I'm going to read them tonight. I'm going to read them tonight because, baby, you tried it. You tried it. I'm going to stand 10 toes down for Toya. I am a girl that likes an underdog. I don't care. I don't care. My loyalty runs deep. And when you want to square up, see, I'll go for people just because you want to gang up. I can't stand no ganging up ass mofos. And when I tell you the weak attack and packs, I can respect the grind. I can respect the hustle. If you go toe to toe, get them one by one. But when, to me, a gang up, it's just a low hanging fruit. It's a low hanging fruit. When everybody decides to gang up, that's easy. That's safe. And the fact that they came after Toya this season, first of all, you couldn't break her. You can't whoop her, like they say in the hood, but you can't whoop me, ho. You can't whoop her. She stood 10 toes down on the reunion. I'm proud of her. She never backed down. They gave her some anxiety now. They gave her a run for her money. They tried to humble Toya on that reunion stage and still couldn't take her down. They had Heavenly. They had Contessa. They had Messy Mimi, all of them. And still couldn't do nothing with Toya because Toya stood 10 toes down. And I think a lot of that has to do with her marriage. That's right. I said what I said. Y'all are so mad about Toya and Eugene. Y'all are so mad about a man that's going to get in there and run a play for his wife. That's what he's supposed to do. In one breath, you want black love. We celebrate black love. And the next breath, you tearing it down because the man is getting in there and doing what the hell he's supposed to do. Protect, provide, and profess. He ain't going against his wife. He ain't going against his wife publicly. Period. That's all I'm saying. What Toya does in her marriage is what Toya does in her marriage. Doesn't make her bad, doesn't make him weak. It is what it is. That's their damn marriage. That's their marriage. We gonna get into it. Let me just say this. I would not be mad. I wouldn't skip a beat if Mimi never came back. I done gave you a chance. I'm over it. I'm done. Mimi has too much to offer to be that petty and that messy. And let me tell you what I think is going on. I think Dr. Heavenly then got a you in damn Steve's ear, has got in your ear. She got her thumb on your neck. Mimi. And you're out here windmilling for Heavenly loud and wrong. Loud and wrong. Period. I don't like it. It's messy. You really don't have a beef with Toya if we think about it. Y'all may sometimes different personalities just don't gel. And that's okay. I was just talking to somebody. I say, people got to know how not to like each other and just leave it there. It ain't got to be a catastrophe. It ain't got to be a squabble up. But if you do knock, I know Toya will buck. That's all I'm saying. And she did so in a classy way. And I don't like the way that Mimi's trying to come after Toya and play with her psyche and use her psychology and her credentials to make Toya seem as if she's not normal, to make Toya seem as if she's out of pocket when it comes to her marriage, when it comes to her friend group, and when it comes to her position in the show. If you want to be here, Mimi, then you're going to have to get it on your own accord. And I said what I said. Eugene loves his wife. You can tell by that. That's why Toya is able to sit on that couch and not break down and take all of you one by one. Take each and every last one of you one by one. Let me tell you when you can do that, when you are properly loved, when your cup runneth over, when your gas tank is full. And although they have real moments, because you say you like reality television, then what the hell is wrong with seeing the reality of marriages when it's not its best? I'll wait.
I don't want to talk about it.
You just said I'm gonna talk about
it. I get angry. I don't want to.
Toya and Eugene may not be perfect, but they are one of the realest couples on the show. Period. Point blank. You can't shake that. You can't fake that. Simone and Cecil are second. That's it. If you want reality, you are seeing it in real time. You are seeing her and her husband go toe to toe. You are seeing the good, the bad, the ugly. They have given you a complete 360 of their entire lives. So as for me and my home, yeah, I'm gonna have to get down for my home girl, Toya. I'm gonna have to ride for Toya because see, I'm a loyal girl. I'm gonna have to represent the OG. She's earned her spot on my television screen. Mimi, you too new to be coming in bucking the system. You too new. And I don't mind a new girl having a little bit of beef and strife. I mean, Angel had it with Toya. She said, listen, stay out my damn business. Don't worry about who's in my bed, who's cheating in the next room. Don't worry about all that. And as a matter of fact, I don't need your help. Guess what? They did that and then they moved on. They let it go. They moved on. I think initially I was looking forward to Mimi being on the show, but Mimi has a tricky personality. I don't like tricky personalities. I don't care for personalities. Even when you give them the truth, they still run with the narrative in their head. You think Toya is jealous of you. Jealous of what? Jealous of what? What could Toya be jealous of? Your looks? Your skin? What are you getting at? Toya has a life that has been carved out for her. Toya's in her own lane with her children and her husband and her house. Toya's not dream. See, you building your dream house. Toya has had 3 or 4 dream houses. I'm just saying. What is Toya jealous of? The lies you tell. Yeah, she made a joke that your husband looks good in his shirt. Hell, Toya done brought strippers. Toya has brought strippers to parties. Good looking men that look way better than Steve. What do you, come on, y'all. I'm finna go there. We are talking about women in the South where colorism does exist. So do you mean to tell me you think Toya's jealous? What do you think Toya's jealous of? You think Toya's jealous of your marriage? Y'all both have 2 kids each. Do you think Toya wants to be a doctor? Because she's been on the show long before you. This is the first time anybody has ever accused Toya of being jealous. So I can only narrow it down. She can't be jealous of your living situation because any house she wants, she builds and then flips and sell. Okay, so we can scratch that off. She made a joke about your husband looking good outside his shirt. Okay, I don't really think that's it because we've seen her bring other men in as strippers. Okay, so let's move that off the table. I think if Toya wanted to be a doctor, nah, that can't be. I think Toya enjoys being home as a housewife, drinking her white wine, eating her snacks, and chilling in peace. That can't be it. The only thing that I can narrow it down to is if I go back to the good old South. Oh, let's talk about it. See, this is going to go over some of y'all's heads. See, in the South, there are women that think they are better just because of their skin tone. There are women that think because of my skin tone, you jealous of me. What are you saying without saying? That's all I'm saying. Mimi, I don't like how you and your husband are coming up against Toya. Had Steve not gotten so involved, I would say, okay, it's mutual combat. But your husband is deep down in the trenches trying to get I'm not going to say peach, but definitely trying to get a permanent spot on the show. And I believe your husband has completely disrupted the camaraderie of the group of men that has once been in play for a very long time. I don't like it. You and your husband can go. Oh, Mimi's a Libra? I know you lie. Oh. Oh, let me take a sip of wine. I ain't had no red wine in a while. Hold on. Mm. 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 Let me take one more sip. Hold on. Mm. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let the chat have at. I'm gonna let the chat get a go on that.
I heard about you. I was waiting on you at the door.
I'm gonna say this. I think Mimi thinks she's better than Toya for a number of reasons. I think Mimi has potential. I think she's a dynamic girl when she stands on her own. I really enjoyed the implementation of Mimi on the show as a new wife. I was looking forward to Mimi. I like how she got started, not last year. I knew Mimi had a bag of tricks the way she did Sweet Tea and how she tried to diagnose her and pretend to be her friend. And then to get in the friend group, try to make her seem like she was crazy. I felt like that was low down dirty. Nobody caught that because it was the end of last season, maybe 1 or 2 episodes, but I caught it. I don't like tricks because tricks are for kids, okay? I don't like tricks. Tricks are for kids. And where I'm from, you get your ass beat playing with people like that. You get your ass beat trying to embarrass people at dinner, calling them crazy and diagnosing them in front of everybody while they just simply having a glass of red wine. You will get your ass toe up. You will wake up in ICU, them asking, are you okay? I don't play with people like that. I don't believe in ambushing people. You don't invite somebody to dinner to say, are you okay? And from my experience, so that's how she did that girl. Right, wrong, or indifferent. And she got her up off the show and insinuated that she was crazy. Okay, so we look past that. Maybe she was just a little bit nervous. So now we fast forward to this year, and here you go again. Weaponizing your degree to get an edge on the competition. Heavenly has whispered sweet nothings in your ear to convince you that if you go after Toya, that you will have a spot on this show. I think Heavenly is doing a little bit of producing behind the scenes. Got you out here looking like a goddamn fool. I think Mimi exhibits a little bit of insecurity, and I'll tell you why. Can we go ahead and get started? Hey, Dorothy. Can we go ahead and get started? See, I'm just warming up. But listen, it's party in the chat tonight, so y'all gonna have to let me cook. I got a lot to say. Then we're gonna get into some clips. So I'm Team Toya all day, every day. Y'all know me. Once I pick a side, I'll pick a side. Now, I have to say, Toya was wrong when it came to the Met Gala. She was absolutely wrong, okay? She's wrong, in my opinion, for excluding Mimi, Brandy, and Angel. Baby, don't take me out the group chat and then ask me for money. I'm still for you, but I'm the type of homegirl I can let you know now. You dead ass wrong. I wouldn't give you a damn dime. You wrong for that. And I have to stand on business with that. Now, they say Toya was acting like a Medzilla. They said, now, if you just listen to what they say and what they said on the season finale before you get to the reunion, hell, I bought into it. I was like, you sure did act like a Medzilla. Y'all get it when the brides be bridezilla. They said she was a Medzilla. Toya just wanted the money with little to no explanation, only for us to find out in the next episode. Hell, they all did it. Dr. Jackie, and Toya was just following suit as a rookie. Okay. Toya ain't did nothing different than the old heads has done before. Period. Trey said their money was going towards charity, not Toya's pocket. But here's the thing. Dr. Jackie laid the blueprint, but they wanted to punish Toya. They wanted to alienate Toya and criticize Toya for mimicking the behavior that Dr. Jackie laid the foundation. Now, I do say Toya's wrong for wanting them folks to give her their money, but not wanting to give them any details on how the funds were being allocated. I felt like that was in poor taste when I watched the episode because that was the only information that we had to go on. But here's the thing. You only know what you know. And then as we gathered more information, shit, you got a right to change your damn mind as you begin to get more intel. So I have to be fair with that. And when we talk about Black excellence, or even hell, just nonprofits and being transparent, you have to share with the donors exactly what the hell you're doing with their money. And I feel like to purposely exclude Angel, Mimi, and Brandy and then expect them to make a generous donation is unrealistic. Not to be confused with ticket sales. Y'all better follow me tonight. Donations versus ticket sales. That's what I'm talking about. So if you expect them to make a donation, then you have to be inclusive. That's all I'm saying. Now, the ticket sales is, hell, y'all pay to get in the club. Y'all pay $150 to get in the club. Some of y'all pay $150 for seafood balls. Boudin balls with hot Cheetos on top. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you wanted the ladies to make a donation, you should have included them. To be honest with you, the way my pride is set up, the way my self-esteem is set up, I wouldn't have got on that stage if I was Brandy, Mimi, or Angel. Just because, you know what, y'all got it. And not because I feel some kind of way, but maybe that's the Scorpio in me. I'm not going to go up there and embarrass myself like that. No, ma'am. Not today. Not tomorrow. No, ma'am. Now, here's where I'm about to get tricky. I think Toya and Dr. Heavenly have some similarities when it comes to not knowing how to get along with other women. I'm about to cook. I think they have some similarities, which is why Dr. Heavenly, in my opinion, resents Toya, because you met your fucking match. You can't throw your weight around with Toya. You can't make Toya feel bad like you do Simone. You can't dangle Toya's marriage in front of her because Toya is being properly loved. You sleep in a different bedroom than your husband. I'm just saying, it's Monday night, y'all. It's party in the chat. We read down. It's nothing personal. So don't be sending my damn videos to people talking about Queen Sheba, talking about you. Get your ass out the chat if you don't know what time it is. It is party in the chat tonight. Okay? All right. Welcome back. I just had to remind y'all because some of y'all get over here and baby, we do it so good. You forget it's just fun. Tonight is party in the chat. Y'all better tell them, y'all. because they like to run up out of here and send private messages. Oh, Queen Shima's over there talk. It's just, y'all, it's just a show. It's just entertainment. I go into character. The chat follows suit. We have a good old time on a school night. That's it. That's all. And when we're done, we're done. We move on to bigger and better things. Do you follow? Go on and get you a drink, Shelly. Shelly say, damn, let me go on and get you a drink. Now, I think Toya and Dr. Heavenly possess similar characteristics when it comes to their friend group and not knowing how to get along or knowing how to get along with other women for a small period of time. Follow me very closely. Dr. Heavenly tends, both Dr. Heavenly and Toya, I got to be fair, even though I'm Team Toya, they both, in my opinion, they tend to dominate their friendships and their relationships with other women. And that's not good. Because watch this, Toya. Brandy's supposed to be your homegirl. Now, why would you exclude your homegirl? Now, that would piss me off. I will put you in the X-Files. You know what the X-Files is? I'm gonna make a mental note until later, and I'm gonna pull it out when I need it. I ain't gonna say nothing today, and it may not be tomorrow, but bitch, you are in the X-Files. And just in case I need it, I'm gonna pull it out. Why would you not include your homegirl? So that's where I didn't get it. And I was like, you kind of like Dr. Heavenly in some way. And something actually hit me while I was watching this episode. As they were giving Toya a hard time, right? For the Met Gala and everything that goes along with it. And we need to teach her a lesson. On paper, listen to me very carefully. On paper, Toya is actually the perfect person to lead the Met Gala because she's the one that has the time, the freedom, and the flexibility to actually lead. She has the perfect amount of time because she's not a doctor. The only thing that I would say to her is I would say, girl, you need to improve on your leadership skills. You got to develop in that area. You can't be getting an attitude and excluding people and doing what you want to do, even after they give you a little bit of feedback. But she's going to get better if they give her another chance. All you got to do, Toya is good at what she does. They were shocked. Let me tell you something about when hoes try to set you up. It's Monday night. Pardon my language. Bitches will try to set you up for your downfall. And they couldn't. They couldn't set her up. She did a hell of a job. Because what's for her is is for her. Even when you put her back against the wall. That's why I said they try to humble her. They tried to humble Toya. And they still couldn't take her down. Because what's for her is what's for her. She still came through in the fourth quarter. She still came through under pressure, under stress. She still handled each and every one of you on that reunion stage. Period, point blank. Grown woman shit. Now, she's not as developed because it's her first Met Gala. But she is good at what she does. Entertaining, classy, Black excellence. She's not as good with partnering with others when it comes to delegating and a shared governance. But here's the thing. She wouldn't have been good in this situation because you have to remember it's a setup. When motherfuckers don't like you, they just don't like you. It ain't shit you can do but cross the finish line. It ain't nothing you can say but cross the finish line. See, some of y'all be hustling too hard for your worthiness in rooms where people don't like you. Toya recognized it is what it is and had to pull through. They set her up, but you gave them the ammunition. Toya, you never had the buy-in from the group. You was doing the funky two-step. Y'all, I'm finna go there. Some of y'all are friends with people that don't like you. Some of you have been friends with people that can't stand you for years. Y'all go to happy hour. Y'all go on vacation. Y'all do all this, girl, that, and y'all can't stand each other. That's the situation Toya's in. And there's ways to avoid this. I don't think Toya recognized that she didn't have the buy-in from the group. I don't give a damn how good you are at something. If you don't have the buy-in, they gonna sabotage you. They waiting for you to fall. They plotting. What Tiana Taylor say? I think you plotting on my downfall. When she was eating that spicy stuff with the guy, they was eating. They had the eating competition. They were plotting on your downfall, and that's crazy to me because Dr. Jackie was a part of that. Black excellence, Black women plotting on your downfall. You're the youngest in the group. You said Mimi, she said Mimi made a call and say, I've been volunteering for 10 years, didn't offer not 1 ounce of advice. Now, I kind of understand why Mimi didn't. Toya, if she don't F with you, I wouldn't help you neither. You get what I'm saying? And you didn't include her. So you can't expect her to kiss your ass and show up and help you. So to me, that's mutual. I wouldn't help you neither. But Jackie, good old Dr. Jackie. Come on now. Toya, this was a setup from start to finish, but here's the thing, girl, you had an anointed girl. God had a calling on your life. Listen, I don't know who been praying for you, but girl.
There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close.
If I can just touch the hem of his garment. Girl, somebody's prayers covered you. Because you came through and they had to give you your props. When they stood on that stage, y'all, they said, Toya, I have to admit, you did the damn thing. One thing I always say, I said, women attack in packs. And Toya, they attacked you from the left, the right, the front, and the back. Now, I want to say this. I was being fair, but Mimi, I got to get back to Mimi. Mimi ran me hot this season. And just because I was being fair, Mimi, that doesn't get you off the hook with me, because if you show up, y'all, let's talk about it. I don't give a damn if you don't like Eugene or Toya talks to Eugene crazy and Steve paid for Mimi's office. That has nothing to do with charity. If you show up to an event and the tickets are $150, then you need to pay for a ticket. Ain't nobody trying to set you up. Where's the setup? Where's the setup when everybody else is paying $150? Tell me, somebody help me explain the setup. Oh, that was a setup. That was targeted. Targeted what? If they ask you to do something that nobody else had to do, I could understand that notion. They ask, listen, y'all, we talking about doctors, ballers. This motherfucker be wearing leather Louis Vuitton jackets in the summer. I'm talking about casket sharp, clean as a whistle. And you ain't got $150. And did y'all peep that Mimi had to pay? Yeah, let's talk about. Did you peep that Mimi had to pay? We talking $150. A lot of y'all have given more than that in Cash Apps and Super Chat. Who is arguing at a gala over $150 for a charity event? Do you not know how much tables cost in some instances? $3,000, $500 per ticket. I'm going to leave that there. But if you show up and the tickets are $150, then you need to pay for the damn tickets. Mimi, now, there was a scene with Mimi and Steve where Mimi was making spaghetti. Watch this. I got to get on you. Mimi was making spaghetti and her husband said, you look uncomfortable. And she says, I am very uncomfortable. Now, here's my thing. You all up in Toya's damn marriage. I need you to spill the tea on yours. Because what is uncomfortable about making spaghetti? But you got to peep what she said after that. Because you can't be chastising Toya for not being a traditional wife. But when the cameras go off, you don't really cook for your husband. Is that not tradition? You stood at that lady's house and chastised her and say, oh, wait a minute. You let your husband lead. And Toya, this is what a wife's supposed to do. I don't give a damn if she can't cook. She better learn, Trey. She better learn. See, they going to stop talking that shit about being I'm being funny, y'all. I'm being silly. I'm being sarcastic. It's called party in the chat. But if you're going to preach that traditional shit, then you better learn how to cook. Because you telling Toya that the man leads. Okay, well, then the woman cooks. And then your husband said, you said, I am uncomfortable. See, that's why everybody needs to mind their own damn business when it comes to their own marriages. Because Steve and Mimi are loud and wrong. There's deficiencies in your marriage. Your slip is showing. Now it's starting with the spaghetti and it's starting with the confessional. You tell me that's all I need. And I like Mimi. I don't really want to poke holes in her theory right now, but you leave me no choice. You made me do this, like they say in scary movies. When the cameras are off, let me tell you what I'm getting, that your husband is overlooking you. You said your husband doesn't validate you often enough. So why crap on another wife? Why crap on Toya? Watch this. You sat on that confessional and you looked at him and he said, you were doing a great job. We love you. You are a great mother. You said, that's all I needed from you. Then why embarrass Toya when all she needed from Eugene was the same fucking support? Y'all, do you hear me? You and Toya were fighting for the same thing, support. But you criticized her and you offered your 2 cents as being a newbie on the show instead of sitting back and relax and say, child, I ain't none of my, oh, they arguing. Oh, but you were somewhat in a similar position. That's not a bad thing. Why you despise Toya for speaking up when y'all both kind of going through the same thing? Ain't it crazy? You and somebody else can have similarities and be fighting for the same thing, and they despise you because of the way you lean in and advocate for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Now, I understand you putting on for the camera, and then you tell your husband you're very uncomfortable cooking spaghetti. But you cooking spaghetti for the cameras. You cooking spaghetti for the people. We don't give a damn if you can't cook. If you can't cook, we okay with it. Just show us the reality. What is your reality? If you can't cook, that's fine. But don't get in there pretending to be a cook when you can't. We not putting you in a box. And she said, I'm doing what the stereotypical wife does. See, that's that fake Southern shit. And that's why you despise Toya, because Toya is out of order. Toya refuses to be a separate wife like the rest of them. Toya talks back. You don't have to put on for us. This is reality television. If your reality is not cooking, then that's your reality. Let us see that. You ain't got a front for the gram. And you know what I wonder? I said, I wonder if Mimi take up issue with Toya because Toya's personality and her dynamic with Eugene is some of the things that you wish you can say to your own husband. I'll wait. Lovely D's. Thank you. Thank you, Queen, for the 2-piece and a pepper. She said, you better preach. I'm trying. I wonder, now that I didn't know what it was at first. Hell, me too. The second, third episode, I was like, damn, Toya going hard at Eugene. But we only see what we see. And the more episodes we see, I'm like, girl, you need the same validation. Hell, a lot of us do as women. A lot of us get overlooked sometimes and need a little bit of help. But most of us ain't going to kick another woman down because she asking for help. She got to get it how she get it. She said, my husband hard-headed. I got to scream at him. You got to cry. I got to scream. The thing is, we both doing what the hell we got to do to get what we want. Now, I just wonder if you take up issue because Toya's personality, that her dynamics is what you wish you can do or say, but you can't because you've been conditioned to be a traditional wife. I don't know. Hell, I'm not saying that Steve is a bad guy. That's not what I'm saying. But you may have been sold a dream as a little girl regarding what you're supposed to do and can't do as a wife, especially as a beautiful light-skinned woman in the South. Y'all quit playing with me. You know how it goes. You train proper in the South, especially a woman that's mixed and biracial. You're trained to go and reach for the highest fruit, but you got to present yourself. There's things you're supposed to do, and there's things you can't do as a wife. And Toya is the complete opposite. And Toya is a mirror and a reflection. And that makes you uncomfortable. I don't know. Question mark. Now, they did say they're building a new home, 8,500 square feet. All right, now, I like that. 5 bedrooms. I say, that's good. It's 4 of them, 2 kids. So that'll be 3 bedrooms and then 2 extra, maybe 1 for workspace. Okay, I like it. I like it. They've gotten her son, Stevie, some ABA therapy. I'm happy for them. I love that. I love to see it. You ain't got to do all that extra with Toya. You have enough going on in your life. That's good enough. And listen, I know I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. It's not that I don't care for Mimi, but you got to come with it. You got to give the real. I said, you know what? Mimi's one of those girls that was raised to be perfect. Mimi, I mean, that's what I'm getting. And sometimes that's not as pleasant to watch on a television screen because they're raised to be perfect. If you raised to be perfect, it's because somebody's judging you and now you have become judgmental. I don't like how you're handling Toya. You're putting out the expectations that you were raised with or brought up with. You're trying to put that on her. Baby, live and let live. I do enjoy her family dynamics with her husband, but I do question how often he's present in the home. There has been clues, hints that he's not always around. That's all I'm saying. That's not a bad thing, but let us see it. Let me see it. So I like the fact that they're focusing on the entirety of their life, but I need you not too much on Toya. I like the fact that they're talking about their child that's special needs because many Black folks, most African Americans, are not aware of the resources available to them when they have kids or family members with special needs. So I think that's important that you're talking about ABA therapy, that they have dedicated schools and stuff like that, and social groups. I think it's important that people of color learn more about the funding, the resources, community support, peer groups, field trips, you name it. That part of Mimi's life, I like. Now, I'm going to say this. I got to go back to Toya. I think Toya is very high strong, and I think she's headstrong, and I think she has little to no patience for anybody except herself. I've seen Toya snap off on really good friends. Amina, what was that Middle Eastern lady's name? Her. And also Lisa. I didn't like it. Toya lives a good life, but Toya also lives an isolated life. Let's talk. I'm going to keep it real. Toya lives a very good life, but she lives an isolated life. And follow me. Here's where I'm going with it. You have to be careful with that. Because although you're living a good life, and on the same Anila. Okay. But on the flip side, an isolated life, sometimes you're not properly socializing. You can come off as a weirdo. You can come off as domineering, different. And it seems that this season, the ladies have taken up issue with Toya. And I can see why in some instances, because she doesn't play well in a sandbox. Because she's isolated in her good life. I'm just breaking it down. I hope I see what it is, Queen Sheba. Yeah, she isolated. She stays at home. She doesn't work. Her boys are her life. She may get a little bit of this and that in community that she lives in, but outside of that, not very much socialization. She doesn't know when to turn it off or turn it on. She is, okay, Monique says Toya is a housewife on the show with highly educated women, Black doctors that don't respect her. Simone respects her. Simone respects her because she's gotten a chance to get to know her. But you're absolutely right. The rest don't. But it's not, I don't want to make it, you're right? when you say educated, but so is Toya, because you can't take a Met Gala and scale out at that level if you don't have a little bit of savvy and intellect about yourself. So she's educated too in her own lane, but she is going to have to sharpen up and button up a little bit and a little bit more gentle. That's all I'm saying. I think she has to be careful with that good and isolated life, because the ladies are picking on you. You become a target. And typically when they make a woman on this show a target, you out of there. And I think it's by design, Toya. They trying to get you out. I think it's a few of them. Dr. Jackie's one. He's a silent assassin. Dr. Heavenly, Mimi. That's 3. Angel, I think, fell for the okie doke, but then I think she kind of got back off it. But you got 3 of them. I see 3 books and a possible. I see 3 books and a possible. They coming for you. But you're giving them something to talk about. So you got to be careful with that. I'm going to ride with Toya on this. I feel like there's some opportunity here for her to get better. I don't give a damn. I like her. I like the fact that she's continued to give us reality television over and over and over again. I see you, Dorothy, to my Toya's a drunk. I wouldn't give a damn. That's her reality. I like her. She cleans up well for the camera. She's doing the best she can. It is her life. You ain't getting nothing real. Hell, we don't even know what happened to Dr. Heavenly's son. They don't even want nobody talking about it on the show. I'm a ride with Toya. I believe both Mimi and Toya require validation from their husbands. There, I said it. So there are some similarities and there's also some differences between Toya and Mimi. Mimi, I think you drunk the Kool-Aid with Dr. Heavenly. I think you jumped on board. I think you got on that ship. I think you rode the bus and you overcommitted. And I think you realize it's going to be hell to pay if you turn your back on Dr. Heavenly. I think you know she'll attack you. I think you know she's batshit crazy. That's all I'm saying. But before I move on, I have to say this. I'm going to say this. I want to say, I don't care what nobody say. I love when Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone are good. Contrary to popular belief, I do not believe Dr. Simone is jealous of Dr. Jackie and Heavenly's relationship. There ain't shit to be jealous of. I think she has an issue with how the friendship formulated. But I don't think she's jealous that they're friends. Not one iota. I don't give a damn if they go to dinner together, Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Simone ain't worried about that. It's the fact of how you got her to become your friend. You came after me and we ain't never talked about it. You came after me and you put my friend between a rock and a hard space. Your friendship, everybody's friends in that group. You ain't never seen Simone have a problem with people being friends. It's the way Heavenly did it. That's what I think. I think Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie are good. When they're good, they make a great duo. They have undeniable chemistry. They have an undeniable dynamic. And I am sorry that Jackie allowed Heavenly to come between the consistency of the relationship that they once had. Dr. Jackie could have been friends with both of them. Hell, and at one point they was a threesome. They were the, what is it y'all call the Three Stooges? Heavenly is the devil that wears Prada. Heavenly is the monitoring spirit. Heavenly is the one that hasn't had friends. Heavenly is the one, I believe, that was jealous of Simone and Jackie's relationship, not the other way around. That's all I'm saying. Because you have to realize the dynamics of how Dr. Heavenly grew up. Her mother made her compete with her own fucking sister. And when you come up with that type of pressure and you come up under that type of toxic leadership in your house, you see every woman as competition. I enjoy the scenes of Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie together. They have a natural chemistry, y'all. They are equally yoked. They are peers. They work well together. I love it. Now, Simone, they had a scene where Simone and Jackie were talking about the couples trip, and Simone was somewhat critiquing Toya's leadership. Now, here's the thing, Simone. Let me say this. You handed over the baton. And this is what we got to stop doing as middle-aged women, y'all. Stop giving the baton and then critiquing the younger girls. If you're going to give it to them, give it to them. If there's anything you expected, you should have gave her a little bit of guidance. If you didn't do that, then shit, let it ride. Let it be her show. She did good on the couples trip. And although there's a particular way, and this is where we get in trouble because sometimes we like what we like, but if there's a particular way that you became accustomed to how the couples trips were handled, you have to trust Toya. Toya does not have to mimic everything that y'all do. And I thought it was unique. Watch this, that she separated the men from the women. Because let's be honest, had she not separated, we wouldn't have gotten a tea about Curtis being holier than thou and telling King that he was sinning. Had Toya not separated the men, we would have got nothing from the men because y'all already know that when the men are in the room with the women, they not going to talk. Toya, that was brilliant that she separated the two and they had a therapist for the men and then the women had their own separate things. We started off together. We split up. Shit, that's how we got the tea. That Quad and King weren't good. That Curtis really had a resentment towards what King and Quad were trying to do. That's crazy to me, y'all. That was some tea. Because listen, Curtis didn't support it, but Dr. Jackie did. Dr. Jackie was Quad's fertility doctor. What is this? This is good ass reality television because now we have a household divided. But had it not been for Toya, we'd have never seen that split in the household of Dr. Jackie and Curtis. Curtis didn't support the efforts of his wife. Y'all better get the hell up out of here. I'm preaching today. Can I cook? Now, Jackie cleaned it up real well because, you know, she don't like a scandal. She's an old Southern girl. We gonna clean it up. We gonna apologize. Thank you, Toya. Separate them. Separate them. Separate them. Spread them out like roaches. Oh. You say Curtis wants Quad. He too knock needed. He can't handle Quad. Miss Quad. Oh, she got it. She would break his knees. He can't handle Quad, but you might be right here. You might be right. So that's how we got the tea on Curtis, acting like a deacon and calling himself ministering to King. Curtis, it may be the right message, but you are the wrong messenger. Right message, wrong messenger, because you stepped out on your wife and you committed the ultimate sin. If we're talking adultery, let's talk about it. What you did could have sent your wife to the crazy house. You cheated on your wife, who's a prominent doctor, who's a socialite in the heart of Atlanta. You did the ultimate sin. You sinned publicly. You were spotted out by paparazzi headed to the Dominican Republic with your mistress. You have no room to talk. What you did to Dr. Jackie was uncalled for, and you did it out of spite. You did it because she's successful. You did it because you're jealous of her, and you did it knowing that there was a chance that you can be caught, and you didn't give a fuck. So you need to sit this one out, not only this season, but for the rest of the seasons. You have no room to talk because you've yet to apologize to your wife publicly for what you did. And then you blamed it on her and said that she wasn't home. Now, let's talk about reverse psychology. Excuse me. And if we're quoting or if we're talking about the Bible, biblically, the Bible grants your wife a rite of passage to leave you. That's how detrimental adultery is to the psyche, that the Bible says she can leave you. I mean, I'm only talking about the Bible because Curtis was talking about the Bible. But since we're talking about the Bible, he said the Bible says adultery is so heavy so detrimental that you can leave. That's how much damage you did to your wife. And if the truth be told, you still ain't made that right with the viewers. If you ask me, has he made that right with y'all? He ain't made it right with me. He has not made that right with me. I don't recall him really taking a humble position and making that right. What I heard a few years ago was a bunch of excuses. You gaslit the fuck out of her as a woman. And then you pissed me off because it was cruel what you did to her. And then on top of that, the fact of the matter is you denied that lady the ability to adopt and have a child and establish something outside of you, you selfish bastard. Hold on. I don't mean it personally. Curtis, it's just party in the chat. It's just party in the chat, Curtis. Trust me. I don't mean nothing personal. It's the wine, baby.
Baby, what's in there wine? I feel sexy as fuck. I see why y'all like wine.
Because listen, let me tell you something. He broke her soul. She ain't never been the same since. Now call me a liar. Go back and watch. She ain't never recovered. Now she goes to work. She ain't been the same since. I know I'm a little heavy on Monday night party in the chat, but rock with me tonight. For old time's sake, rock with me tonight. Listen, she never recovered. That was cruel what you did to her. You denied the lady the ability to adopt and have something outside of you. Watch that. Watch this. Imagine that. You had something outside of her. Y'all, are you following me? He has something outside of her. He has children. He had a mistress. He has golf. He has whatever the hell he wants to have outside of her. And denied her the ability to have anything outside of him. He is all she has. She beat cancer twice. You fucking cheated on her. You wouldn't let her adopt or have a baby. That shit was so cold and cruel. Listen, Curtis is a no-go in my book. It's a broke down airplane. Put it out in the hangar. It is no good. Take it out of circulation. I don't like what you did to her. I'm sorry. You should never deliver a conversation to anybody. This man was traveling all around the world with his mistress. That's something outside of her. But God forbid she asks for something outside of you. And that's a very, very misogynistic way of thinking. It's selfish. It's cruel. How dare you? Now, I'm not saying Quad and King were right, but it ain't my damn business. If Quad want to be a single mother and have a baby with a man that don't want to have a baby with her, that's fine. You ain't made enough deposits in King's life to be able to sit down and have that type of conversation with him man to man. You don't know him like that. When you start talking to people like that, you better make damn well sure you have a relationship with them. Otherwise, you out of order. You don't just start spewing wisdom and knowledge on young folks because you older. Shut up. And I mean it in the most respectful way. Be quiet. That's not your place. You're not his father. He's not looking for one unless he comes to you and say, here is my dilemma. What you think, old man? Then you can say, hey, son. You know what? But if it ain't that type of exchange, be quiet.
All right, Palace. The Super Chat Squad is in the building. We appreciate you, baby. The Super Chats are fire. Get in your bag.
That's a lot of money.
Oh, yes, it is. Thank you, Wanda, the nurse advocate, for a 20-piece and a pepper. You says, I rock with Toya and Eugene. Why won't Heavenly talk about her daughter, Alora, who quit college? Was the baby milk in the pantry hers? Ooh, good question. We will never know because Heavenly is not going to show you her real life unless she's forced to. And here's the thing. Even if it is, Alora is old enough, right? She's what, 19? Wow. I want to talk about Michael and Miles. I want to go to Simone, Dr. Simone. They go, her and Cecil. They sit down with Michael and Miles. I don't like Miles. I mean, Michael Myers. I don't like that damn Michael. Not literally, but I don't. He's gonna be an asshole. He's gonna be one of them snotty brats that has rich parents. And it's just it is what it is. Okay. But I love the sit down between Simone and her family. I like how Simone and her family operates from a family dynamic. A lot of emphasis. This is now I see something. I mean, hold on, Maxine. Listen, they having them at 13, 14. Maxine, I mean, I guess it is. I wouldn't want it, but shit, what can we do about it? Maxine said 19 is old enough to have a baby. Maxine, you already know how these kids are. Come on, Maxine. Now look, a lot of emphasis, if you start to watch, it's placed on Michael. Miles is overlooked to me. I don't know if that's by design and he's just too quiet for production to work with and he's just not giving anything. But I've started to notice a lot of emphasis is placed on Michael from Simone. And I think it's because he has the same personality as Simone. Miles, I believe, gets pushed to the background. And Miles gets lost in the sauce. And although Miles looks more like Simone, he behaves more like his father. And although Michael looks more like his father, he behaves more like Simone. So I think Simone has this magnetic attraction to Michael. And we really don't get to see or get to know Miles. You follow me? I would like to, Simone, we want to see more of Miles. He's chill. He's chill. I want to get to see more of him, learn more about him. I want to go to something. Recently, I saw a clip on Instagram where they were debating Quad versus Dr. Simone and Toya. And the conversation centered around Toya and Simone being jealous of Quad. I call bullshit. I do. Let's take a look.
I got bigger balls than all of them. She was willing to leave her fucking. They jealous of Quad. Quad got bigger balls than all of them. She was willing to leave her husband. She was willing to leave her husband and move on with her life. And that's something that they didn't have the chutzpah to do. Okay. We watched Simone and her husband, Cecil, have that breakdown live on the reunion. I believe it was season 6 or 7. One of them had that breakdown on the reunion stage, came back together. Beautiful moment. But Simone has been wanting to leave. She moved to the South House or the North House, whatever it was. She been wanting to get on down the road from Cecil. She alluded to it again this season. And I think that there's something in her and Toya that is jealous of Quad's quest for independence and her win at that quest, right? Quad ain't never needed a nigga for shit. She saved all her money when she was married. She's talked about it openly, how she saved all her money from the show and invested it and put herself in a great position. She living just as good as them with that, and they're married to Dr. Simone is a physician. Toya is married to a physician. Quad is keeping up by her damn self. They jealous of Quad.
I bet I call bullshit. Dustin, when he's on. But you are so fucking wrong. You are so off with this. And shout out to the housewives from a housewife. Housewives from a housewife. I got this clip from Instagram. You are so wrong. And sometimes men that cover these shows completely miss the mark. It ain't shit that Quad has that Toya or Simone wants. Women go through ups and downs. Quad went through the same shit with King that Simone went through with Cecil. Quad broke down over a nigga that she was dating for a year and begged him to impregnate her. Told him, I'll pay for it all. And although she may not need him financially, she needed him biologically. Quit fucking playing, Dustin. She needed him biologically because there are some things. Now, I know she left Dr. G. She didn't like him. It's easy to leave a motherfucker you don't like. She didn't like him. It's called finessing the game. She finessed him, married him. He wasn't her type. She understood the assignment. It's no different than the family of Chantel on 90 Day Fiance. She fucking did to Dr. G what Pedro did to Chantel. Pedro understood the assignment and Quad understood the assignment. Pedro got here to America. Quad got here to marry to medicine. This is not about jealousy. This is about the life that these women have chose. Let's run it again.
They jealous of Quad. Quad got bigger balls than all of them. She was willing to leave her her husband. She was willing to leave her husband and move on with her life.
She had to. She didn't like him. There was no chemistry there. The lady didn't want to procreate with him. That was a marriage that should have never happened. Hell, both of them went to jail a few months before marrying each other. What are we talking about? Let's continue.
And that's something that they didn't have the chutzpah to do. Okay.
I've never heard Toya express wanting to leave Eugene. Simone has gone back and forth, but hell, they've been married 29, almost 30 years. You have ups and downs, highs and lows. You go. Sometimes you can't stand each other. Hell, I had a marriage counselor say, y'all only been married, what? Y'all don't even know each other. You haven't even scratched the surface. But we live in a society that tomorrow, if some of y'all want to wake up and decide you want to fuck somebody else, you go run and get a divorce. Excuse my language. Listen, that's not a flex that Quad left her husband. That's not a flex because now she's begging a man to give him her his sperm in a clinic. And that ain't listen, I'm not shading Quad, but here's the trade-off. Here we are. Quad is a single woman navigating around married couples. There's no fucking way you can tell me these women want to be in her position.
Okay. We watched Simone and her husband Cecil have that breakdown live on the reunion. I believe it was season 6 or 7. One of them had that breakdown on the reunion stage, came back together. Beautiful moment. But Simone has been wanting to leave. She moved to the South House or the North House, whatever it was. She been wanting to get on down the road from Cecil. She alluded to it again this season. And I think that there's something in her and Toya that is jealous of Quad's quest for independence and her win at that quest, right? Quad.
I beg to differ. Simone has been in it for a long time. There's people that give up their dogs that they've had for years because they can't take care of it anymore. It ain't got nothing to do with being jealous of somebody that don't have a dog. They hit highs and lows. Now, if Quad gets into a marriage that she can sustain, she's going to go through the same shit that Simone has gone through. That's all I'm saying. Eventually, no matter who you choose, you're going to have to work it out.
I ain't never needed a nigga for shit. She saved all her money when she was married. She's talked about it openly, how she saved all her money from the show. And then
she has needed a nigga. We saw it this season. She needed King to help her have a baby. And if he doesn't help her, either she's going to date one, adopt one, or go to the sperm bank. And that's not a flex on Quad, but what are we talking about? She does need a man for shit.
And invested it and put herself in a great position. She living just as good as them and they're married to Dr. Simone is a physician. Toya is married to a physician. Quad is keeping up by her damn self. They just
okay. I'm gonna say this. The freedom, maybe. I don't think they're looking at Quad and not liking her because she's single. I don't. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I just think Dustin missed the mark on this one. Irene Bay says Simone doesn't love her husband. Simone's tired. You have to recreate love over and over again. Ask any married couple that's been married for a long time. You have to recreate over and over again. You have to recreate moments. I can't say she don't love her husband. I think that would be a reach for me. But I will tell you this, Dr. Cecil did get into the chat and he added Carlos and he added Dustin. He says the guys hit the reunion stage this week, so I have time today. Let me first say I like Dustin and I think he is one of the best podcasters talking reality TV. And this isn't specifically to him, but this narrative in the Black community has to stop. Majority of the voters of 1,700 believe married women are jealous and wanting to be divorced. Divorce sometimes has to happen. And I am from divorced parents and I love my little sis Quad and she doesn't have a choice. She didn't have a choice on her divorce and it was probably better for both of them. But anyone who is excited about getting a divorce and being out in those streets, going to lounges, clubs, etc. over 40 is crazy work. Marriage with the right person is the best thing ever created. A person to spend time together with, enjoy traveling, experiencing life is second to none. And as we get older, we need someone to support each other's health journeys. We got to think. To quote Dr. Simone, he's right. Quad is over 40. What are you talking about? And he's saying, you don't know what you're talking about, Dustin. Now, he's a part of the friend group. He said Quad didn't have a choice, which tells me there's more to that narrative about that marriage than what we think it is. And maybe Dr. G just let us run with the narrative that she left him when that may not be true. There are ups and downs. Hell, some of y'all got baby daddies y'all be fighting with. There's ups and downs, highs and lows. Now, maybe not to the extreme that we've seen some other people endure. Some of y'all don't like y'all kids sometimes, but do you love them? Yes, you do. Let's continue. First of all, I disagree with you, Contessa. You can't tell that man how to support his wife. Now, I know you've had a hard time getting Scott to get on board for things as simple as your birthday, but you can't tell that man what his position is in an event that his wife is sponsoring, that she's facilitating. If that motherfucker want to go to the door and do a handstand all night for 5 hours, that's his fucking business. Excuse my language. Stay in your place. You can't tell that man. He wanted to make sure that his wife's event came off perfectly. She only raised $10,000 and y'all complained about that. But the way to raising the $10,000 was to ensure that everybody that came to that door paid the ticket prices. That's it. That's all. I think you were out of pocket. I don't think. See, here's the thing. Contessa almost threw hands about Heavenly talking about her husband after you gave her the ammunition. You talked about your husband like a dog to Heavenly, and she weaponized it and came back and ran her mouth on social media and told all your business. I don't think you should be getting involved in what a man should or should not be doing. No, I don't think she has a point, Terry. I do not, Terry. I get you, though. I'm not going to be telling somebody's husband what they should or should not do. You shouldn't have been working the door. It may be my opinion, but I'm not going to direct it to him. But I mean, some of y'all disagree. Some of y'all agree. I just think she was out of line for saying it to him. I think she was out of line for telling him what his place was. You cannot tell a man what his place is in his wife's life. That's all I'm saying. In his marriage, why are you watching? What you want him to do? Tape his wife's mouth up? That's what they were saying. The men were saying, "What are we doing?" Typically, we don't. Listen, the girls are there going back and forth. Mimi saying you need to submit to your husband. Toya to my you snake bees. That's what they do. So you want her husband to come in and spank her, hold her accountable. So you jacking Mimi up behind the scenes. You yelling at her like, what do you mean? I don't understand what you want him to do to Toya. The men stay out of the women's business when the women are arguing. Why are you arguing with Dr. Eugene about a fight that the women are having? What you want him? He has fucking ruined the show with the guys. I don't like it. I hope they don't come back. They probably will. I don't like what Steve is doing to the group. Him and Mimi may be good, but he needs to learn how to play in the sandbox as it relates to how the men stand back and allow the women to go at it. The men have worked very hard to make sure that no matter what, we're going to keep our friend group. We're going to have our cigars. We're going to do our damn barbecues. We're going to do our thing. And if they want to fight, we're going to break them up, but we will not. And like they said, you are bringing our group down. This nigga is trying to be a wife. Okay, but that's two separate issues. You don't like what Toya said about you. That's fine. But what Dr. Eugene is talking about is the rules of engagement regarding the men. We don't get in their stuff. You did touch Toya.
Okay. And you haven't been accountable completely today either.
I like Eugene. He's civilized. He's the epitome of Black excellence. I like Eugene, period. And he's stronger than what we think he is. Here we go.
You haven't seen any cheating in my relationship. My husband's not telling me he doesn't trust me with my son. So let's stop with the shenanigans. I think everyone on this stage should honestly stay out of my relationship.
If you wouldn't put it out there, we wouldn't have
unless we
anything to say.
want Toya to really tell.
Go ahead. Please open the book, please, for everyone. I'm going to open the book because there's a book that hasn't been opened on her relationship as well.
Really? Well, let's talk about it.
Now, you know, Heavenly will say anything because she called Dr. G a pedophile. Now, you know, Heavenly will spew some things that are not true.
Because I had a whole next door neighbor that told me about your husband.
I had a whole
and the
person
things that
tell
he
me
did.
about your husband and what he does as well in the hospital and why he was
I would
fired.
beg to differ.
Let's do that. Let's do it. Let's put it on the table.
Dr. Eugene did come out to clarify he's never been fired a day in his life, and that is a lie. He said, you can contact any HR team at any hospital facility that I've worked for. I have never in my medical career have ever been fired.
If we're going to stay out of everybody's relationship, make sure that flows all the way through.
That part.
Okay?
And there's rumors.
I do have to say, you have spoken on marriage. You spoke on marriage.
I've only spoke after, Jackie. Anything that I've spoke about your marriage has been after you brought it to the table.
I never brought it to the table.
Curtis.
Y'all caught that? Did y'all catch that? What Jackie said? See, people are mad at Toya because they feel like she disrespects her husband. Jackie just said, I never brought anything about my marriage to the table and never will here on reality television. When we talk about, see, it's easy to judge somebody that's an open book. And it's easy to put somebody on a pedestal that conceals their real life from you. Jackie, Heavenly, Quad 2 conceals their real life. Contessa has started to conceal her real life because she learned a very valuable lesson after being burned by Heavenly. See, we didn't know the ins and outs of what Contessa and Scott were really going through until Heavenly started to disclose private details publicly on her platform. Jackie just told you, I've never disclosed anything. Why are you here?
I've never spoken about you or Eugene and your disrespect.
Man, that age.
It looks good on some of us.
I mean, menopause.
I'm in menopause. Toya was disrespectful with that. I didn't like that. That age. I felt like that was a low blow. Where are we going with it? Because Dr. Jackie looks hella good.
Pause. Toya, don't age shame. Don't.
Baby, I'm about to be 50. I can talk about age all I want. Jackie, no one's coming to you about Curtis like I could be.
Okay. And nobody's
Curtis
coming to
sat
you.
my husband down and had a whole conversation with him.
He should
telling
have.
him, no, he should not.
As
Curtis
he
is the
should
last
have.
one should be talking to anybody's man.
No, honey, you need to talk about yours.
You haven't seen.
Last one. Did you hear what the fuck he said? They trying to get rid of Heavenly. Did you hear what he said? Contessa, after Heavenly say whatever your name is, Contessa says, let her know whose house it is, Andy. He said, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. You out of here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Baby, I caught that last week. He said, I'm working on it. Yes, she up out of here. You've gotten bigger than the program. You've acquired a few infractions by Bravo. You took to your platform, which was one thing. They let you slide on that when she was doing her thing by herself. And then you crossed over with a former employee by the name of Carlos King, and you started to spill the tea regarding Bravo television shows with Carlos. They asked you not to do that. They gave you a run. They let you do it for about a year. And finally, Bravo said no more. And then you ran for office without reading your contract and thought that you were going to come back and be a full-time employee. And they said, not so fast. Your ass is going and you're going to be demoted to a friend of the show. And you sit there disrespectful and look at your boss and say, whatever your name is. And they said, let her know whose house it is. He said, oh, I'm working on it. Trust and believe the clock is ticking. Carl, hey, friend. Carl said, baby, the way you dissecting this, they trying to get rid of her ass. She is up out of here. Did you catch that tea? I don't think anybody has pointed that out. They tired of her motherfucking ass. Excuse my language.
And I did the right thing. I removed myself and I was not coming on that girl's trip.
But you came. Liars.
And not only did you came, you created a liability. They had to pause filming and do an investigation because you said that you were attacked. You could have had Simone disbarred from the medical. She could have lost her license. You are a liar. Simone could have sued Bravo. They reviewed the tapes. And you lied. And you've constantly put them in positions. But they trying to get you up out of here. I'd be... how many years? Y'all think she gonna come back next season? You think they're gonna give her one more go? Because Andy did point out on the reunion, he said, so yeah, if you win, you're out of here, right? You're not gonna be able to come back. And she said, well, I believe in leaving doors open. Girl, the door is closed.
Liar.
All right.
I feel like this is such a blaring conversation.
That's it. But I clocked that tea. I clocked that tea. I said, oh, she's out of here. She's already a friend of the show. See, somebody like her, too, Latrice, I see your comment. Somebody like her, you got to watch her. You say she's a friend of the show. She is. You got to work her slow, baby. Because she's a liability. Let me tell you why I say that. She done already lied on Dr. Simone. She's lied on a few of the castmates. Y'all remember a couple of weeks ago, an inside source told me this isn't her first time going to HR, lying, trying to get people kicked off the show. She's a liability. But with her, she's savvy. You can't just kick her out. You got to work her slow. You got to close the door quietly on her. You out of here. Let me play that again, baby. Andy, let me play it again, y'all. You out of here, girl. No, I hope she's out of here. I'm tired of this lady. They've lost some really good people because of her. And I know you.
And
boop, bloop. That's it. He was offended. He was offended. See, you too busy watching Toya and not watching the chessboard. See, you too busy trying to get rid of Toya, not knowing that the door is closed for you. That's all. You done wrote a check that your ass can't cash. You so busy trying to get Toya off. Bravo is done with you. He said, I'm working on it. You're out of here one way or the other. You see shit. You better ask Kenya Moore. You better ask Kenya Moore. You better ask Nene Leakes. Nobody is bigger than the program. And here's the problem. You stop being entertaining and you have become a liability, in my opinion. I don't give a damn how many platforms you sit on with Carlos King or anybody else. You are a liability. You've become very unpleasant. Why you say that, Renika? Renika said, well, hell, they can throw the whole cast away. Y'all want to come up and talk about it? You know what? Let me drop the link. Shoot, I ain't the only one. Let me just drop the link, child. It was so good. I felt like it was wrong to not bring King on. Quad is a manipulator. I like Quad. Quad is good TV, but her time is running down. Because let me tell you something. That's how Robin Dixon played herself. When you start manipulating and not giving them the full rundown, they want your entire life, your entire soul. That's what you signed away on that contract. And when you start saying, I don't feel comfortable with King here. Well, damn, you didn't feel comfortable with Dr. G here when you went through your divorce. Okay, we got rid of him. We brought you back. Then you didn't feel comfortable with Mariah here. Well, damn, okay, we got rid of her and brought you back. Then Dr. G came back. You didn't feel comfortable with him and his new wife. Well, okay, well, damn, we got rid of him and brought you back. You brought King to us, and now you don't feel comfortable with King. We got rid of him and brought you back. The clock is ticking for Quad, too. And Quad knows it. And if you watch Reunion Part 1, she didn't really put a dent in this reunion. She didn't really bring anything. All she said is stay tuned. Stay tuned for what? For what? So that's why I say I disagree with Dustin. Ain't nobody jealous of Quad. Quad is barely hanging on by a string. Andy don't like when y'all be crossing over and going over there and playing with people that they don't fool with. They don't like when you go over there and you run over there to Carlos King and they learn more about you when you talk to Carlos King than what you do and show on the show. Trust and believe. You can't be taking these people money and giving them the bare minimum. That's all I got, y'all. It was pretty good. They ticked me the hell off. I don't care for Mimi. Hold on. I don't see it. I don't care for Mimi. I don't see it. I think she got off to a great start. I don't think Mimi has to go to the depths that she's going, but I think she's overcommitted. And now you've entered into a danger zone. Let me tell you something about being messy. Once you go there, it's hard to come up out of that. Mimi is not trustworthy, in my opinion. Mimi is not a girl's girl. Toya said on her one-on-one interview with Carlos King, she said, Mimi don't talk to us outside of filming. Mimi don't hang out with us. They show up, her and Steve, he and his Louis Vuitton, his rainbow shoes. They show up. And that's it. And we never see them until it's time to film again. You coming in hot, Mimi. And when they get rid of Heavenly, you going to realize you done backed yourself in a corner. I kind of feel like Mimi wants to be the next Dr. Jackie. I feel like, Mimi's fake to me. She's fake, but she's a Southern girl. And a lot of them will talk about you and turn around and say, bless your heart. That's what Mimi reminds me of. And if you're from the South, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Talk about you like a dog. And then as long as you say, bless her heart, you can get away with it. You think he living off Mimi? You said that man living off Mimi. His little money been gone a long time ago. He wasn't. Okay, now why y'all say that? I heard somebody in the comments said that he only ran 18 yards. I don't want to get into that and tear down what they have, but Mimi's tired. Mimi's real tired. Mimi did a scene when she came home. She was so tired. He was waiting there saying, "Ooh, I'm glad you're home." You know, and he was saying that the kids were a handful. And she said, I wish I could be the wife you want me to be and cook and clean, but I'm tired. You working that girl. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's real life. We're not judging you for that. But what I am judging you for, what I am judging you for is you judging Toya. They said 18 yards, girl. I was reading the comments. They said that man ran 18 yards in his career. I'm just saying. That's all. I didn't say it. That's what the people say, child. You said looking like, look, Johnny Bravo. I don't like how he came in. You said, but he affirms her. Shit, after she begged. And I don't even want to be on that type of time with Mimi. But Mimi is not giving Toya any grace, and I'm not understanding why. He gave her a little bit. He gave her some grace. I mean, he gave her some affirmation, Carl. I mean, she cried. She had to cry on the confessional. Now, why y'all say that man ain't got no money? Y'all leave that man alone. Like the old folks say, leave that man alone. Why you say that man ain't got? They say he paid for the office building. Now, Mimi did make a comment that every time she come to work, you ain't at work. My question is, where is you? Why you not at work and you work for your wife? Okay, here we go. I want to cover one more. This is Mimi and Steve confronting Eugene and Toya. I kind of feel like, Steve, you mad at Eugene because he doesn't, you want to call him Toya Bush or Mr. Bush, but you know what? Mr. Bush does a good job of affirming his wife and loving his wife. And just like I said, both Mimi and Toya need validation from their husbands. You might be jealous that you not doing for Mimi what Eugene is doing for Toya. You see that as a simp. You see that as weak. You see that as my wife ain't gonna run me, when he's simply loving his wife, keeping her well fed. See, because when a man's job is to protect and provide, it's also his job to protect you from himself. That's the part they forget to teach. Oh, I protect and provide. But do you protect her from yourself? Are you filling her cup? Is her cup runneth over? So when she go up out of here, she ain't picking fights. Daryl came out the bushes. Shit, Daryl say simps keep women happy. You keeping them fed over there? You keeping them well fed over there, Daryl? You say them simps. That's all I'm saying. Thank you. I've never seen some of them Louis Vuitton outfits before. That black leather one. And I get it. You like Louis. I ain't mad at you. But Steve, come on now. You had on a whole rainbow outfit. Let me show you this one. Some of that, I was like, I didn't even know Louis Vuitton made that. He must have went to Thailand. But hold on. Problem. That's Mimi. Please go today. If there is let me just say, if I have a misunderstanding about you and you have a misunderstanding about me, I can't clear it up. You can't clear it up because I'm hearing what I want to hear. You hearing what you want to hear. And you have somebody that don't have a dog in this fight that tell me or you, nah, hold on. They paid and they made everybody else pay. Why are you arguing? Why are you arguing with Simone when she's telling you, no, she made us all pay? Mimi? Mimi. Apologize to you. He said, I'm sorry if you felt targeted. I run from people like this. I've apologized. Eugene apologized to you 3 times in one instance. They just cleared it up with you. Toya told you that day. Everybody paid. You said Brandy didn't pay. She said, yes, she did. She paid this morning. Dr. Simone just told you, nah, everybody had to pay. Not only did I pay, girl, I donated. I bought 10 tickets, da-da-da-da-da. And you still arguing.
I thought I took quite accountability. You should pay.
You can't hold the fellas to a standard that you don't hold yourself.
If you ain't got the $300, just say you ain't got it. And because that's what is given. And I know, listen, I'm not the one to attack anybody's living situation, but I'm getting tired of these folks in Atlanta coming on these shows only for us to find out a month or 2 or 3 that they are in bankruptcy court. They ain't got it. They scamming. They lying. They stole. Why are you arguing over 100? I've had people take money from me where I've ordered stuff, and I'm not saying it's right. Damn near $300. Some instances or more. And I'd be like, I'm going to just eat that. And it's always come back to me in different ways. Why are you arguing over charity, Black excellence, a donation that goes to medical students or students going into medical school? If you didn't want to give it, you don't give it, you leave. This is not going to Toya and Eugene. These are going to students in the community who want to be doctors. I don't get it. I'm lost. If you got it, you got it. Ain't no fucking way you're going to see me show up to an event. Listen, and people love to show up and pretend they got it. Nigga, you got on a whole leather black Louis Vuitton jacket straight off the runway that we ain't never seen before. That good. You wants to auger? You wants to auger over $150 or $300? Oh, hell no. It does. That's Renika, that's why I'm confused. You and me. Hell, we could have went to the gala. All of us could have went. We could have pulled together 150 each. You really arguing. They didn't want to pay. Now, Mimi, now I'm looking at you sideways and wondering what's like Capital One. What's in your wallet? What's in your wallet? And you know, that ain't none of my damn business, to be honest with you. But you can't let it go. You like a dog on a freaking bone. Now I'll be like, you ain't got it like that? You arguing like you just sold your food stamp card. For real. This is different. We ain't never seen nobody argue over $150 on this show. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't got nothing else. We finna go to bed. I'm finna go make me some ramen noodles because I ain't got it. I ain't got it.
I don't want to talk about it.
You just said I'm gonna talk about
Kill it. I get angry. I don't want to.
Let me listen. What you say? Not the food stamp card. I'm just saying this bro is arguing over $150. Let me go eat my ramen noodles. I don't care how much money I make, where I go in the world, how well I think I'm living. I'ma always keep me a pack of ramen noodles. Do you understand me? I'ma always eat me boiled eggs and some pickles. Do you understand me? There's some staple items I will not get rid of. I don't give a damn. But one thing I can promise you, you ain't gonna never see me show up to a freaking gala. And let's just be honest. You got off clean if you came into a gala and the ticket was $150. Because if you pull up to them white folks stuff, tickets be $5,000 per table, $500 to get in. And you arguing, you want to argue over $150. We get that. You get that. Working at the grocery store. You got people that be like 150 in the hood. Oh shit, that ain't nothing. Bro, I thought y'all was gonna break a nigga. I thought y'all was gonna break a nigga coming up in here. 150, they gonna pull out that water money. Shh, 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 shh. He arguing over 150. And then look to your wife and made her pay it. Mr. Traditional. Mr. Traditional. Let your wife pay the bill. The same one that has a lot to say about Eugene Bush. But Mimi pulled out her wallet. Carl said, and Carl is a hairstylist, celebrity hairstylist. He said, looking at Mimi hair, I think the 150 wasn't there. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to have to ride with you on that. Because Steve was pressed behind that. He did not want to pay. It was given scam likely. It was given services not received. It was given, hello? Is it me you're looking for? Press 1 to speak with customer service. Hello, I would like to report a service not received. I am requesting a refund in the amount of $300.